All right, all right, all right. Here we are. We're back.
After 3 weeks of vacation.
Oh, my gosh.
This is great. This is a great episode. This is episode number 7 of the podcast.
Lucky number 7,
Yeah, lucky number 7. And it's just me and you this time because we're talking about our awesome vacations that we had this year. Our good summer vacation, well, pre-summer almost, pre-summer vacations. And
you got to go right when school's out.
Right
you
when
just
school's
got to go immediately.
don't dilly-dally. You got to be the first ones at the place.
I think the Memorial Day is probably like my favorite holiday because you just start the summer off and nobody's working. It gets quiet. And so you just got to go big. And I think we both had a pretty big Memorial Day here.
We had some crazy time. Hey, first things first, let's say hello again to our audience out here on podcast number 7, vacation episode here. We always like to start it off with our sponsors. Sponsored first, we'd like to say, sponsoring this Bodyworks Massages, best massage therapist in Middle Tennessee. You know who you are. There you go.
And Yodel Music, the future of live music. Download it, start your profile, start checking out these shows. We got some new artists that are really starting to make some noise, and it's exciting times for Yodel, so get on board.
Beautiful. I'm also going to give another shout out to Hall's Mentaliptus.
Yeah, can you tell something's going on?
Something's going on with my voice, and excuse me, I want to start this too off. I apologize with my voice and the coughing that is going on. So this meant I had a very, very, very good vacation. That's what that means.
Yeah, you went to that Striper reunion show.
I love Striper. I wish I did. I really wish I did. I would catch a Bible. They throw Bibles out at you.
I mean, speaking of music, apologies to all those people. By now you've heard Bonnaroo was canceled.
Yes,
Again.
it was. Yes, it was. My daughter went. Matter of fact, she sent me a video.
Uh-oh.
I should show you the video. I'm going to send you the video on that. You can download it. But she was there. She left Wednesday night. Had a great time.
She probably saw Luke Combs play on Thursday.
I don't think she even knows who Luke Combs is. I know she was clubbing though. There it is. Here's the video. There you go. Clubbing out.
Oh wow. That's Wednesday night at Bonnaroo, huh?
Wednesday. That's that one, and then she had another one too.
Did she get is it muddy at that
it's
point already,
very
or
muddy.
I mean, they say it's dangerous. There's so much mud. It's dangerous in Bonnaroo.
Well, that's why they canceled it on them. So she was in a tent. She stunk when she came home.
Smells like Bonnaroo in here.
Yeah, that's exactly. I know they used to say in the airport on Sundays after Bonnaroo, get out, get your deodorant out because it stinks.
I don't want to age myself, but I went to the very first Bonnaroo.
Did you really?
Yeah, before it was all corporate, and it was not really ready. But we had a big time. Widespread panic was there. We saw a lot of people that were in different states of mind, and every year it seems to get a little bit better, a little bit more prepared, and there's bathrooms at work, But then the past couple years, they've had some issues, and they had to cancel it for COVID, obviously. That sucks. Yeah. But then they had to cancel it because of the flooding in like 2021 or 22, and it's starting to be a thing.
My daughter did say it was nice. People were pleasant, surprised, happy. Everyone, hey, do you need anything? Always looking out. She said she had an amazing time for the day because she got home real late last night, around 1 o'clock in the morning, because they had to pack up their tent, get themselves taken care of, and then they came home. But she says it was an awesome time. She loved it. Only thing it sucked that they canceled the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
Well, pilgrimage is coming up before you know it. So
you know what though? To me, Bonnaroo is almost like a bite off of Woodstock. The old Woodstock, even like when my mom was around, around, she was still around. But when the first Woodstock in the 70s, how that got crazy. And I remember in the 90s, my buddy of mine, Robbie, if you're out there, I remember you going out there to that one up there in upstate New York and just sliding in the mud. All you would do was just grab some plastics.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be we didn't shut down festivals because of mud. That was part of the attraction, and all kinds of stuff happened in that mud. It was the mud people.
Correct.
But today's youth are not as hardy.
Should we say soft?
They're softer
They're
than
soft.
mud.
They're very soft in mud. You know, unfortunately, soft and in sports, we can talk about it it's softer than baby's poop.
Oh.
It's softer than baby's poop.
Bonnaroo, baby. Well, let's talk about what you did for your summer trip, your big adventure out west. And I'm just curious as to what made you decide to do this, and where exactly did you go?
Well, this was a 50th birthday party for my lovely wife, Tammy. Well, for her birthday present is she's like, I always wanted to do a dude ranch, and she found a great place, as you can see it online right there. We went to Jackson Hole, and outside of Jackson Hole, there's a place called the Spotted Horse Ranch. What a superb time. One of the best trips I've ever been on, and it was great. You would disconnected. You didn't have too much cell service. It was probably the most peaceful and the best time. There was a dog. I should have had a video of the dog. This little bastard would chase everybody. It chased my kid, chased my brother-in-law, chased my nephew, bit my nephew, the little bastard too. Not my nephew, but the dog. But this dog was something else, boy. She would go after everyone. But there was other cool dogs around. There was just ranch dogs, just hanging out.
It's like Lassie or something.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I tell you, I was very questionable about this thing because I am definitely not an outdoorsman.
This wasn't on your bucket list to ride a horse into the sunset?
No. I mean, do I like horses? I don't know. I mean, they're cute, I guess. I don't know. But they weird you out a little bit. Like, as you can see in the video, I mean, some really cool horses. It's just, I don't know. You know, a dog, you look at a dog, yeah, I can pet. I know where the dog's coming from. I don't know what the horse looks at. You know, these horses, they're bigger than me. They can kick me whenever they want. So it was a really, really cool time.
You got outside your comfort zone, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. And the worst thing is, and you'll see some more videos later on, that these horses, when we did horseback riding, you're going up a mountain, down a mountain. So they're like, lean back if you go down. If you're going up a hill, lean forward. And these horses, and this is right here, this video here, they're done for the day, and they're going to go run to eat.
They're going to happy hour.
And actually, the happy hour was great. Right after this, we went to happy hours, 2 hours, 5 to 7, open bar. Go get boxed up and have a great night. It was fun. We had such a great time. It was, again, I can't promote this more. And I even talked to the people at the Spotted Ranch.
So who is the owner, or who are these folks that you...
There was a guy named Kevin. Kevin was outstanding. He was the head man. He was running the whole show. And Kevin, if you're out there, peace, man. You did a great job. You have a great place there. I know you told me what it was, but you run the whole thing, and I want to say thank you so much for that. You know, Kevin, you've been great. You took care of us as families. I know your daughter was the bartender, Eller. You know, it's not an R, it's an A, Ella. Ella was the bartender. She was great. She was super. She was really fun with the families. You know, it was a quaint place. I mean, we had only maybe 15, 20 people there in each one of those cabins. See those cabins there? And we just stayed there, and we had happy hour, and everyone was great. So Ella was the bartender. Then we had our ranch hand was set to us, and her name was Olivia. Outstanding. She was from Connecticut, too. Go figure.
What? From
Connecticut. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you doing out here? She's like, well, I'm bailing out. I'm just going to go hang out and do this. And she had her fiance, I think a boyfriend or fiance, I don't know. But he was a cop. He was a military guy, and he was doing some cop stuff. And he's like, so why don't you go out there and enjoy it? She's like, I might do that.
He's a Yankee cop? Or he's Wyoming?
No, he's a Connecticut cop.
Yeah,
he's a Connecticut cop, Yankee / you know. But
is there any crime in Connecticut? What does a cop do up there?
It's all white collar.
Investigate the hedge fund people, and
it was all that Lyme's disease up there, Connecticut. That's exactly. So
that's an interesting crew out there.
Oh, she was great. She was outstanding. And the thing is, so it's weird. So they take us on this first journey of our horses. So we get on our horses, the first trip. We get out there. I have me, my wife, my son, my brother-in-law, my 2 nephews. Okay, great. We're getting ready to go. My younger nephew was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to get on these damn horses. He's a little freaked out about it.
Oh, come on. You go all this way.
Exactly. He's a little freaked out about it. You probably see a picture of him zipping by over there. So he's sitting there, and he's like, all right. So he's kind of freaked out about it. He's a younger kid. I say he's about, I think he's 11, 10 years old, maybe 9, I don't know. So he gets on the horse, and all of a sudden, Olivia's horse backs up into his horse. Now his horse starts freaking out. Backing up, so he gets on his legs, and he's freaked out already. So he starts screaming, no. Like, calm down, because look at that handsome guy on the horse there. So he starts freaking out. He's like, I want off. He ends up getting off the horse. And so now we're like, we got a 2.5 hour horseback riding thing. What are you going to do, kid? And I do want to plug another ranch hand on this guy, Walker. Walker was outstanding with him. Walker, he's like, guys, I got him. Took him aside. We did our trip. He stayed with Walker the whole time, and he taught him how to lassoing. He was doing lasso. I mean, cowboy stuff. I don't know what I was going to do. He could walk around and shovel poop.
He was incredible at lassoing. When he came back, like he's a natural. He can't ride a horse.
No, but he can lasso a damn horse too. That's for sure. But the guy Walker was really, really handsome guy too. Handsome.
Well, they're all handsome out there,
dude.
They're cowboys. It doesn't matter if they're ugly. They're just riding a horse. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, he was kind of. I was like, I was intimidated. Got to be honest, a little intimidated by him. Like, Walker, go inside. Get out of here. He was kind of a handsome guy. It really was.
Not go broke back.
Yeah, I wasn't going broke back. That's for sure. My God, but definitely he was a handsome guy. I got a hands up with him. He was cool. And the best thing about this whole trip too, we had friends. Remember Mike that called in that last one?
Yeah.
They were at the ranch before us.
Oh.
So they prepped everybody up knowing that we're coming into town. So, and they became friends.
Was Mike the Indiana ball guy?
Yes, Indiana.
Okay.
Indian bull. Yeah, Indiana bull. Yes, exactly. Mike's wife, Lisa, became very good friends with this Walker guy. I don't know, but he got very good friends. They were really... Excuse me.
He's lassoing.
But he was really,
right.
But he took care of everyone too. And there was another guy, Colton, that was there too.
Of course, Colton. That's a real cowboy name.
And
Colton.
dude, even more so, I think I sent you the videos and we'll have laughter. He was at a rodeo and he rode a bull.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Yeah, we got some rodeo
footage.
bulls.
There it is.
At this rodeo.
I don't think he was there on the bull this time, but he was the week before when they all went and visited him. So
they got the flags out. This is like a rodeo flyover.
This was, and I did say this, and I could say it. This is my first rodeo.
Oh
so
my God!
I can't say this ain't my first rodeo.
There he goes. Look at him. Whoa! Hey, he's getting after it. Yeah.
And boy, they loved it. They loved it. Woo! America.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, America.
That makes you feel excited.
Yeah.
So the rodeo, was it close to the
the
ranch? That's
literally right downtown Jackson Hole. Now Jackson Hole is beautiful. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's almost like downtown Franklin a little bit, but a little bigger and a lot more mountains.
Yeah.
So it was outstanding too, and we had another person too, Sydney. Sydney was she was from the Seattle area. Great ranch hand. She took care of us. We drove back from what's it called? Water rafting.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that was great.
You ever done that? Oh my God.
This was great. I'm really out of my comfort zone.
You've never been west of the Mississippi River.
No. Hey, listen, I moved here. It was the first time going south. Let's be honest. Wow. No, I'm not kidding you. But yeah, no, and it was funny. So they had this almost like little IGA area, little store, IGA, little small handy pantry.
Like a general store.
Yeah, general store. But they had these things called slushies. I don't know what they were, but they were all alcohol. Outstanding. 9%, 10% alcohol.
Like vodka in there?
Yeah. You had like creamsicles, margaritas, and you just had the machine, you bang it, and you got the big cup like this.
Oh my God.
And then you did it and you drank it and you're
like,
whoa.
This is like at the ranch or at the rodeo?
When you're going, it's like a little bit outside the ranch. So it's in between the ranch and the rodeo, and in between the whitewater rafting and our ranch. So we had
perfect.
They made just Sydney and Jenna. Sydney and what was his name? Mike made us stop because we had a whole bunch of people. Like, we gotta get some slushies or whatever these things were. They were terrific. If I found these slushies in the beginning, I'd be like walking down just to have slushies.
Yeah, I don't need to ride a horse or lasso. I'm just
slushing out, getting slooshed.
Yeah, well, you don't want any of those when you're going to ride a horse.
No. But again, it's you're downtown Jackson Hole. Probably one of the most beautiful places I've been to. You have mountains right there. You have the Tetons there, and you have Yellowstone down the block. We didn't go to Yellowstone, but we hung out at the Tetons. Then we had this little area. We took a gondola up, me and the nephew. So, okay, the next day, we're going to go horseback riding again. The nephew wants no part of it. He's like, I ain't doing this. I'm not doing this. So, and matter of fact, you can see him, my nephew that freaked out. He's on the video right now. He's going ahead. Look at him. He's booking. There he is.
I thought it was kid. So how old is your nephew?
Like 9 years old.
Oh, okay.
So he ran out to take a. It's something weird that they put all your shoes in the middle, and all the kids run.
Oh, it's
to put your shoe on and come back. I guess that's what they do in Jackson Hole for fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could probably have a pretty interesting beer league episode that's just about how to make it in the rodeo, right?
I guess so. I mean,
a lot of those people take it serious.
They took it serious over there. I mean,
they have college rodeo. I mean, I don't know much about rodeo. I think you might be the expert now. I've actually not been to a rodeo either. But they have one here in Franklin I've been meaning to go to. I've been eyeing it for a while now, but
let's do it. Because I can say, this ain't my first rodeo.
It's my second rodeo.
It's my second rodeo.
Yeah.
This ain't my first rodeo, that's for sure.
You're riding with your nephew, and
yeah.
The second day or the second horse. How many horse rides you go on?
All right, so one day you do 2 half days. The first day you do 2 half days. Now, I'm going to tell you, for a person that does not ride horses, everything hurts.
I remember a scene in City Slickers where they're all sitting there with big bags of ice.
Yeah, your nads kind of hurt a little bit, too, especially when the horse starts jotting or galloping. You're like, God.
God. You're supposed to get up a little bit.
They didn't tell you to do that. No riding or anything. I was like, ow.
You're just getting smashed.
Just smashed, like a horsing punching bag.
Oh, my
gosh.
Oh,
my God.
But this is a 2-hour ride.
2-hour ride. Up a mountain. And then back down a mountain. Meanwhile, we're getting hit with branches in the face. Bah, bah. These horses don't care. He's like messing with you. Yeah. And then you got to hold it. You got to turn. You know what? It was so cool, but yet kind of like, this is really, I'm not comfortable here. I'm not comfortable. So anyway, we get there. After the first one, I was like, I'm a little sore. It's real sore. Then we have lunch, and we go back again for the second one on this one day. So we do 2-hour rides. So, excuse me. Second day, the first day, still in the second ride, I get off, my knees are screaming. Because you're in the saddle, your legs, your knees are like that, your feet are like this, it's just putting pressure because you're leaning forward.
Oh, man.
I'm terrible. Leaning back. And this horse is just it's like, and you get punched in the balls every time the thing does it. Your knees hurt. You're like, and I'm going, yeah, this is a great time. I'm getting punched in the balls. My knees are hurt. This is great. I'm like, this is fun.
Should have been a cowboy.
Yeah, no. And again, hats off to all those cow hands, those ranch hands over there that I just threw out. That guy Walker,
they're not
Colton.
It's real men there.
They're men, and even the women are men too. She was like, "You a little soft there, Seth." I'm like, "You're damn right I am." I'm like, "Call me baby shit."
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, then that day happened, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll stick around with my nephew because the next day is a full day, a full 4 hours of riding.
You don't get a day off to.
No, the horses don't get a day off. The next day they do. They relax. So that next day, we signed up for this thing. And again, it's an all-inclusive. You pay one price, They feed you breakfast, and they had the dinner bell. They all, dinner. You know, they do that. They ring it. Great breakfast from scratch. And matter of fact, I got to talk about my, where's his name? Gibson. Gibson was the wait staff. Good kid. At first, I mean, young looking kid. He's got his hair back in a ponytail. Good guy. Took care of us. When he was ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, you had the breakfast, full course meal, lunch, and then you had dinner. But that happy hour was glorious. So, but yeah. So the next day, so I'm like, I'm not getting back on this horse the whole day. That horse ride will take you up the mountain. They brought like a barbecue, like a little hibachi. They cooked hamburgers up there. I was like, nope, not for me. So I took my nephew. And my other nephew's like, I'm done. I don't want to go on that thing too. So we went into town, back into Jackson Hole. And this great guy, Bud the maintenance guy, really cool dude. Older guy, like, was the man. We're watching Greg clap over here. He's clapping. He's got a fruit fly zip around his head. So Bud the maintenance guy, real good dude. I even gave him the rest of my bottle of bourbon. He loved it, that's for sure. Good dude. So, but anyway, so he took us downtown. I took my nephew on his gondola ride, hung out. They have never seen snow. They're from Florida.
Oh, one of those. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think I took any videos of it. I did video, but I didn't send it to you. But
it's a special thing that you don't want to video a Floridian seeing snow. You know, it's kind of personal.
He loved it. They loved it. They were rolling around in the snow and throwing snowballs, cracked me in the face with a snowball. I loved it. It was great. So we had a good time. Got back. They came back, and they're like, "Did you have a good time?" I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm bonding with my nephews. Good kids, you know, just make me laugh.
And do they play hockey?
No, they play soccer. One plays soccer. Yeah, they both. One other one didn't play soccer.
Because I hear that hockey's real big in Florida right now. I mean, you got the Panthers, right? And they're doing well, the Tampa Bay, but there's a lot of ice. A lot of people are getting into hockey in Florida.
Because a lot of people from the Northeast come down there.
Well,
let's be honest. A lot of Northeasters down there. And then you know what? Now, didn't you hear that BS was going on about the state tax? Oh, Florida's in the Stanley Cup the last 6 years. And they're like, well, is it because of state tax? And Bettman's like, what are you, an idiot?
Well, why do the Predators suck
exactly.
so bad?
They suck. Stupid Predators. Hope they trade Marsh's show.
Oh, God.
Crap.
Different episode. Look at this guy.
Look at that.
Oh, wow. Oh, my Lord.
That right there. I'm looking at these guys, and these guys are just nuts. Nuts. This is the bucking bronco. I'm like, this guy's got,
He's way more than 8 seconds there. Wow.
The Broncos, those guys who buck the Broncos, that's wicked. The Bulls, man, it's like less than a second they're getting ripped off. It's awful. But they got the hockey helmets on, though. They got hockey helmets. And they do. We did walk into an arena over there in Jackson Hole. They had a hockey arena there, and they have a travel organization.
You missed it. This is going to be a thumbnail here.
The thumbnail. What is that?
Yeah. Look at that.
Is one
That
picture.
Is gangster.
I was pissed. I was angry right there. It was shocking. I was angry. You know, because my wife put the hat on me, and she goes, just smile.
Oh, come on. You didn't wear a hat on your own out there?
Not at all.
I mean, that is such a Kodak moment.
That was. Go back to that again.
I mean, it looks
pissed.
Pretty solid.
I was pissed.
You know?
I do look hot, don't I?
You look better
I
than
look good.
Than average.
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
that's for sure.
I look good there. Now, look,
you should start wearing that hat just around town in Franklin.
I think my wife wants me to wear that hat the whole time.
Is that her hat? Did she buy that for this trip?
That was my brother-in-law. He did buy that hat, my brother-in-law. He loved it. He wore that hat. But it was funny. So even funnier, so he really embraced. He embraced my brother-in-law. I think I made pictures in there too. He embraced the cowboy. He embraced it. He was there going crazy, loved it, loved everything about it. Had a cowboy hat on. But it was funny. One of the last nights, one of the ranch hands comes up to us and goes, I really wanted to tell your brother-in-law to turn the damn hat around because he had it on backwards. I don't know. I mean, he didn't know either. He's like, you know, he was Curly from what do you call it? That movie.
Oh my God, that's the new style is to wear your cowboy hat backwards.
Yeah.
It's like riding a horse backwards, right? I was trying to find a clip from City Slickers.
That was it, Curly. He was Curly.
I couldn't find one that would. It sounds like you did a pretty good job riding the horse.
Oh, it was fun. It really was fun, though. I mean, I did it. Check it off the bucket list. Would I go back? Absolutely.
Oh, you would?
Absolutely. I would go back tomorrow. And like I said, maybe we get a sponsor of the Spotted Horse Ranch.
Maybe you
over
get
here.
one free night.
So this right here, this video is the last video. I mean, the last night video they had a barbecue. They did actually a cookout for us. And there's my son.
He doesn't look that into it.
Well, no, my son met up, because there was a couple families. There was another kid. That kid there was with him. He played hockey. He played hockey from Minnesota.
Don't you know?
Don't you know, eh? There's my cabin right there. So he played hockey. So they became
Fast friends.
They were friends. So the last night they did karaoke. So my son was up there singing karaoke. Hey, look at, you know what?
You might want to make that your profile pic.
I should make my profile pic. But the best thing about this whole thing, so there's the horses we're riding. There's my son.
Oh, look, going through the water here.
It was crazy. So my son, so this whole thing, that last night, I was talking earlier about, what's that stupid song? I don't know, I forgot the name of the song, though. It's a song that, what name some of those country songs that they play all the time?
Save a...
No, not Save a Horse.
Ride a cow.
No, the Wagon Wheel. Wagon Wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Wagon Wheel. We'll have another one of my friends on that always loves, he's a musician, and he down here in Nashville, and he always laughs. He's always like, they request Wagon Wheel, like I hate Wagon Wheel. So I'm talking with this one ranch hand, and I said, hey, Wagon Wheel.
Don't put it on your Yodel account.
Don't do that. Don't you dare.
Johnson City, Tennessee.
So then they go, all right. So I was talking, and I said, Wagon Wheel, stupid song. So I'm sitting there, I'm eating the steak. I don't really eat steak too much, but it was great. I tore it up. It was great. Fresh. I think they just killed the cow right then and there, and they made it for me. But it was excellent.
Wait a minute. You don't eat steak?
I don't really eat steak that much. I'm a chicken guy. This body doesn't have meats half the times. I know.
Steak is as good as it gets to
No,
me.
it is good. It is good. When it's cooked right, that's why. But I don't have a gallbladder, so it's kind of hard. That's why.
Okay. Well, I get it.
I don't have a gallbladder. I got stomachs. I get gas. My wife hates me even more. And I'm like, oh my God, sorry. I don't need that.
You got to do it.
So anyway, sitting there and I'm eating the steak, and this one of the top head honchos up there, her name was Riley, and Rayleigh. She calls up. She goes, I'm going to request a song, and this song is for Seth to get up here and sing. So I sang Wagon Wheel.
Oh, my God. There's the video of that.
I didn't want to send it to you because I knew it would be brutal. That was just terrible.
So it was karaoke or it was a band?
It was a band. It was some old guy and an old lady just jamming out. They had a little big cello and a piano. And cello and piano, and they were doing it, and we were doing Wagon Wheel.
I really want to see this video.
I got it. I'll send it to you. It's great. I did jam out to it.
Does that mean you know the lyrics?
No, I gave you the words right in front of you, and I'm like, all right. I was singing. I just was like, Wagon Wheel. I don't know what I was singing. I'm like, but it was terrible. But to get me up to sing is huge.
Yeah.
That's why, I was like, there's no way in hell I'm doing it. But then I think I have a video I sent to you that right after that, they did a dance. My wife and my son did a monster dance. So they did this almost like this two-step thing that they were dancing with. It was fun. Again, outside our comfort zone. Totally outside our comfort zone. One of the best trips I've ever had. And it was just so cool. There it is.
No, I don't have this one on.
Oh, there it is. That's the dance. Watch, you'll see my wife and son get in there.
They know what they're doing, too. They listen to the instructions. Sashay down
The
there.
sachet. There is this. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's Walker. That's the Walker guy. That guy. Look at him. Look, he's gonna take down the tree. That guy. And I think the girl he was dancing with was wanted some Walker. I don't think they got Walker, but I think she wanted some Walker, that's for sure.
Well, it sounds like a rip-roaring hee-haw.
That's exactly what it was. And I got up and I sung with that. Where's my wife? Where's my wife and son? You'll see them.
This was just you filming Walker.
No,
Your family's not in this. This is...
It's just, hey, listen. Walker, if you're out there, dude, you got a lot of karate, kid.
There he goes, sashaying again.
Is this, or it's a repeat? No, where is it?
It's just going to play for 4 hours.
I don't know, but my wife kept getting back online with Walker. I'm like, what are you doing?
No,
What are
wait,
you
I missed
doing?
it.
What are you
There
doing?
we
Get
go.
off of that. I'm like, come
There
on.
we go.
There it is. There's more. There's more. I did send you more. Forward and back. So that was the last night. That was great. You know, actually, we didn't
I
meet.
don't think they were.
Oh, that's D. That's my son.
He's not really singing here.
No.
He is not doing wagon. So you sang Wagon Wheel with these fellas.
No. I think I have. My wife has the video. Yeah, I was up there singing like him. See, there's the book right there, the words. Look at my son. That's hysterical. He's loving it. He's like, Dad, I hate you. Mom, I hate you. What are you doing?
Probably edit that out.
He's all pissed off at us. But yeah, man, it was super.
Let's see. Was this the one?
Is there more videos of my wife trying to
There you go.
There he is. No, that's Walker.
No,
again.
but you didn't do any of this dancing.
No, I didn't do that dance. There was no way in hell I'm doing that dance. I'd have got dizzy. I had about seven Miller Lights at me at that time.
It
so
looked
I
like
don't know. It was a hoedown.
Yeah,
It was a
hoedown.
It was a big hoedown. And then that was the last night. And actually, it was funny. I got to remember her name, but there was a woman literally here from Franklin down there.
No way.
She was from Franklin. Super lady, real nice lady. She had a daughter with her. Daughter was funny. She was like 8 years old, and they did this 2 years in a row. They go down there. She rides horses and everything. She lives out in the, what's that area?
Leaper's Fork?
Yeah, not that. No, it's the other one. Over by Nolansville area. What's the other place?
Arrington?
Arrington. She lives out in Arrington. Really, you know, she's real funny. She was a nice lady too. The kid was ripping funny too. She was a spitfire. Good times.
Franklin's a big deal, you know. Franklin's all over the
I
place.
know. She's like, "Oh my God, you're from Franklin?" I'm like, "Yeah, yep. Not born and raised, but I'm from it."
So you had a really exciting adventure. You know, you grew, right? You got outside your comfort zone. You hurt your body, but it was worth it to
absolutely
ride through the river. And
the whitewater rafting was so cool. So even before this whole trip, my wife already went out there earlier. 2 days earlier, she had to run. She ran a half marathon in Jackson Hole. Mm-hmm. Now, if those out there don't know, my wife and her friends, the group that was prior to us that showed up to the Spotted Horse Ranch, they run half marathons in every state. They call them, we call them runcations, which is cool and nice. I participated. This person has participated in some of these, and I'm pretty quick.
This was back in like 2010.
You know what? I'm offended by that. But so no,
You said that you used to run these marathons or half marathons.
Yeah.
If I run a 5K, I'm like king of the world.
Well, I'm going to get back to it. Because we got another one coming up here in July. We're going to Alaska, and my son.
You're not going to run that.
My son is running in it. Dee is running in it, and so is my wife. We're doing Alaska. I'm not going to run that. I haven't ran in a while. My knees hurt way too much.
You got to build up to that stuff. You'll have a heart attack in the middle of the Alaskan wilderness.
Yeah, I'll get eaten by a bear. Big old grizzly. They'll eat me up like, oh, what happened to Seth? You see my pinky just laying there.
A few years ago, they had about 18 different shows on, like, you know, the History Channel and Discovery, and everything was about homesteading in Alaska, right? Those people are crazy.
Yeah, I see that. They stock up, like it's like they're scurrying for the winter, and then you just sit down.
I'd love to go up there. I've never been. Hear about people doing cruises and whatnot, but I probably wouldn't run. Probably if I go on vacation, I want to sit by the beach. Mm-hmm. I want to sit by the pool. I don't want to exercise, really. In fact, I didn't exercise during my vacation.
Well, let's just fast forward in that. That's a good segue right into your vacation.
You know, we had done Costa Rica for a couple years. It's a wonderful place, but we decided to mix it up. And, Costa Rica is cool because it's almost on the same time zone, right?
Okay.
But, we told you to come down there.
I know.
You should have taken us up on it. It's a really fun place, but this year we decided to do something different. We decided to go to Sardinia, actually, Italy.
Oh,
And so we got our beach fix out there. And, it's really
look at that.
a beautiful, unspoiled place. It's not that developed. Europe, 500, 600 million people. But Sardinia is sort of untouched. Now, they do have some fancy places there. I think the most expensive resort in Europe is over there, but we didn't go there. But, you get some outdoor stuff.
Beautiful.
Like these, we take a boat and go check out the cliffs and everything, and then they take you to a couple beaches. And so we really love the beaches there. That was a cool thing that we liked in Costa Rica, but these are a little bit different. You do have some pebbles on some of these beaches. They had some white sand beaches, but they also had some super exclusive, hard to get to, right? You got to take a boat out there, and then there's a cave. So this was called Cala Luna, and this was the place that I really
You sent me
wanted
this
to go
video.
to.
Did they film any movies here? Looks like they should.
Probably. I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff that happens there, but there's like 4 or 5 caves, and then you can kind of hang out, and it's good shade.
Could you sleep there? Like, could you tent there?
I think, it's a national park. I'd be a little bit scared to, I don't know what's all the way back there.
What's going to eat you?
You never
There's no
quite know.
bears in there,
But it was a really cool place to go and check out several different types of beaches. So they drop you off for an hour, and then they pick you up and they take you to another one. So
That's
I would
awesome.
definitely encourage anybody who goes to Sardinia, which is probably not many people, because the guy at the airport, when we were flying out there, was like, I've never heard of anybody going there. Kind of looked at me weird. But
We should have said, that's why we're going.
exactly. We want to do something that's a little bit off the beaten trail. But the boys had a big time. This is one of those pebble beaches.
Okay.
And, we got some sun. We got to get in the water. It was a little bit cold in the Mediterranean, and this is May, so this is like Memorial Day weekend, I think.
Oh, wow.
So it's a little bit chilly, but the water is so beautiful. You get
Crystal
used to
clear.
it.
Look at
It's like a cold plunge. It's the ultimate cold plunge, but it's nothing crazy. You get used to it in like 30 seconds. This was one of the beaches that was just a little bit more accessible out where we were staying. We were staying in a place called Villa Simius, and this was like from the beach club. So there's a bar, and you can get some beers in there, listen to some house music. And
There you go.
And then we
You
stayed.
didn't have a walker type guy here, did you?
No, we kept it moving. I mean, we were only in the same place. This is probably 4 or 5 nights in Sardinia. This is our backyard.
Good
So you
God.
walk down a little stairwell, and then go out here and just kind of enjoy all the nature.
You just sleep out there at night. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, if you get in trouble, then you might have to
Yeah, I'm going to
go
say.
down there. But I really thought that just the scenery was about as amazing as I've ever seen, because
That
these
is
mountains
gorgeous.
are really cool in the background.
How far away is that from where you flew into?
So we flew it. Well, we got delayed by. I gave you a United plane. That's a joke, but they're on my list because we got delayed.
And we're going to get to United after this one because we're going to have some beef after you tell me more about
So
United.
we were supposed to fly in to Frankfurt, but they delayed us, and we had to spend a night in Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's great.
We went to the International Spy Museum. Shout out to that. I think that's actually a pretty cool place, but I would rather be on
Sardinia.
Sardinian Beach. We made the most of our nation's capital. Then we flew down to some airport in Sardinia. I forget what it's called, Proso or something. Olbia. And then we rented a car, which I recommend. You definitely want the freedom of a car. We drove down to the
Are you on the
southeast
opposite
coast.
side of the road?
No, that's only the British that do that. The Europeans actually are pretty normal about the way
really?
they drive. It's those kooky British people. So we spent about a week down there, and then we went and took a ferry up to France. But before we got on the ferry, we went and saw this. This is a Naragi. This is some like 3,500-year-old fort.
Oh, wow.
and they built it up. The Phoenicians did, and it's a pretty crazy place.
With those Phoenicians,
and they would build these on these hills, and they would fight. They'd fight each other for thousands of years, and then the Romans came over. So we started going through south of France. We went to Saint-Tropez. We went to Nice. This is Nice, which is nice.
That's beautiful. Nice is nice.
Very nice.
Nice is nice.
It's like in the middle of Nice, there is, all these buildings are exquisite.
Look at your son with the Smashville hat.
But right
He's
about
got that on.
in here, there's like a big cafe thing. And I called it this is like
That's
Disney
beautiful.
World for adults, because it's just about 80 different restaurants, bars, cafes, all just kind of around. And there's a few shops, and you can't really park. The worst part about it is parking.
It looks like driving's pretty much an issue too. Those streets are pretty narrow.
So you do find yourself in a couple narrow spots where you might have 4 feet this way. We got like an X2 BMW. It runs on diesel.
Oh, wow.
They love the diesel over there in Europe. And there were a few times where I was like, oh my God, there's a bicycle, there's a pedestrian, there's a bus, there's a train. And it's like, whoa. And you have about this much space when you get out, when you're parking. So that's the rough part. In Nice, we had to drive around and find a place. But once you park, then it's on.
Walkable.
It's just super fun. And the beaches, again, you might want to take water shoes to these beaches, because they've got some pebbles, but you get used to it, I guess. You don't get sand everywhere.
That's
really
good.
Nice.
I like the pebble beaches because, like you said, I hate sand.
And then I don't
what
even
is
know
that?
what those were, but it's some sort of motorized surfboard that they had
look
out
at
there. That guy wiped out. So then we kept going, and we went to Lyon, which is the culinary capital of France. And so obviously you go over to France and you want to get some good food, and Paris has great food, but Lyon really just focuses on it. So Paris, there's 1,000, 10,000 restaurants. Who knows how many there are. Lyon is a pretty big city, but it is just so good. You could go to a random place and just get a burger, and it's like the best burger you ever had. It's on a brioche bun, and it's exquisite. So we were eating well. And
so did you do any nightlife in that restaurant bar area there too, or no?
What we would do is the boys would just chill out at home, and then Julie and I would go have French date night. So we probably had about 5 or 6 date nights out there.
Good.
Well, they're just hanging out watching YouTube.
Okay.
We've trained them well.
Exactly.
But one of the things I thought was really cool was this Roman ruin. This is from 200. And they still do shows there. So they were
say you look
setting
like
up.
you're going to see Motley Crue there.
Yeah. So then we went to this battlefield museum for the Battle of Alesia. So this is a famous battle. You might have heard of it. It's Julius Caesar back in the year 52 BC, and he goes up and he's conquering Gaul. He's taken over ancient France, and he has some success, and then they rebel against him. And so there's this guy named Vercingetorix who rose up and united the Gauls. It was the first time the French could ever agree on anything. They're like, get the hell out of here, Caesar. And so they started up an epic battle. And in this one, Caesar actually built a siege, an encampment, around this last fort that they had. And there was about 80,000 Gauls in there, and Caesar had about 60,000. And then they built a second wall outside that siege embankment because there were reinforcements coming. And so there were, according to Caesar, 400,000 Gauls that were coming in relief. And so they had this epic battle that lasted 4 or 5 days in the middle of the French countryside. So we went out there and went to this museum, and they had all this cool stuff about, the different...
That's cool.
equipment, and then they had all these fun videos about how it broke down. And so I liked it because it was off the beaten trail again, and it was in the middle of nowhere. I mean, that's the cool part about it. We were driving on rocky stone roads, dirt roads to get around and stuff.
Did you have good nav? Your nav worked out there too, or what?
It's pretty safe,
cool
and everything is well known. They've been doing it for a long time over there. So this is the reenactment or the mock-up. So they had that one side of walls, and then they had another one, and so at some point they were coming on both sides, and they're just getting blown up. And then Mark Anthony runs in and saves the day, and I mean, it really changed the course of history, because after that, Caesar took over and went back to Rome and started the Roman Empire, and then here we are.
Yeah, wow.
So I really enjoyed the history side of it, and we checked a lot of boxes on that front, and then we saw some museums and saw some famous paintings once we got to Paris. So we ditched the car in Dijon and we took a train up into Paris, and we had about 5 days in Paris.
That's awesome. That is beautiful.
And so we went to the Louvre and we went to the Orsay.
Where's the Eiffel Tower? You got the picture?
So this is Lyon. This is the third biggest city in France. And then we got up there to Paris and kind of were able to relax and not have to park a damn car anywhere.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of stressful after a while.
You start taking the metro, though. The metro is pretty cool. We went to the French Open.
A French Open? Look at you.
Yeah, it's Alcaraz. So he was playing this guy. He's an American, actually, Johnny Tarot or something. There was a bunch of Americans over there.
Really?
And, I mean, he was just...
That's cool. You went to the French Open.
He was just kicking his ass. I mean, Alcaraz was 6-0, and it was 6-1.
He's like, no more, I'm done.
And then
I'm out of here.
By the end of it, the French, the third set was rolling around, and it was like 3-2. He actually won 2 games, and all the French people started cheering for him. Right?
They did, huh?
Let's go, Tommy! And they were getting all these cheers going. And so we just joined in. Let's go, Tommy! It was super funny. And he got better he won 3 games.
Really?
But then Alcaraz was just like, okay.
Right,
I think
enough.
he took pity on him. And then he just pulverized him in the last 2 games. But that was really cool to go to the French Open. I've always wanted to do that.
That's a bucket list right there. That's really cool.
And so Jack went with me. And there was a guy that maybe had been there for some earlier matches. And might have been overserved, and so it gets so quiet. Like when they're playing over there, everybody, and then the play starts, it gets super quiet. But as soon as it would stop, this drunk guy who was sitting in the stairs right next to our seat would just, "Hey, Tommy!" Oh, no! He kept yelling, and his brother's like, "That's my brother." I'm like, hey. Yeah. I think he's gonna get kicked out, and he was like, "Moi aussi," and they came and they took both of them.
They messed
get the
around
hell out
over
of there. Yeah, man, it's a serious thing.
What's the beer of choice in France?
Well, I was drinking a lot of wine, to be honest, but I did drink some IPAs. I mean, a French beer.
Exactly. I was gonna say. Well, I mean, what this guy getting all hammered from?
I mean, we went to wine country too.
Oh, that's
so
wild.
We went to Beaune, and they drink a lot of Pinot Noirs and Chardonnays.
You heard that, Tay? Pinot Noirs.
I'm more of a Cab guy, more of a Bordeaux guy, but I drank IPAs when I wanted a beer.
All right. And was it warm?
No, and once you get to Paris, it's kind of America light. Like the boys didn't really want to eat all the Sardinian food. We'd find margarita pizzas wherever we could. But then once you get into Paris, it's KFC, Burger King, McDonald's on every corner. And so they were loving that. And we were like, all right, that's
There's Starbucks over there too?
Oh yeah, I went.
You love
the thing in
Starbucks.
Sardinia is you get these
little
espresso things here.
Espressos. You're like, that doesn't do it.
And once or twice I had them. Julie started liking them. But then by the time I was in France, I was like, I want a big-ass coffee.
Yeah.
So I started going to the Starbucks. And, I studied some French in high school and college. Right? So I was like,
did it help?
No, they don't want to speak French to you. But I tell you what, they were super nice.
Like, were they really?
Everybody was nice. It was almost weird.
Okay.
Because you hear about the French being rude and right? But everywhere we went, they were just cool as hell.
Nice.
I thought maybe the tariffs would get them. Like we were in this grocery store in Sardinia, and they had the big screen up showing the news, and Jack was like, "So they're going to get the EU with 50% tariffs?" Like, shut up. Tariff? No, but everybody was super nice. So if you tried to speak French to them, they would it was like Alcaraz. They'd take pity on you for 1 second and be like, "No, I don't have time for you to be an idiot trying to speak French. Whatever you want." But everybody speaks English now, because when I went 20 years ago and college days and studied abroad, we didn't have the Google Translate, and it was kind of like, But now everybody travels so much that it's just shorthand. So all the Europeans speak English to each other just so they can communicate, because they're not going to learn French, aren't going to learn German, and German aren't going to learn Spanish, but they all speak English. So it's super convenient. So we really didn't struggle at all to learn what people were saying. I tried a little bit. I probably spoke more Spanish in Costa Rica than I did French in France. But yeah.
Nice. I got to ask you a question.
There she
is. There's the Mona. All right. Excuse me. The Mona Lisa.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it all.
That's awesome. Listen, I got to ask you a question. Like I said, when I went to Greece, was in Athens. One of my favorite things was, did they all have bidets?
Oh, and
yeah.
I wondered if the bidet would come up. In Sardinia, they did.
They did, huh?
Every bathroom had a bidet.
That's terrific.
It really is. And they did in Costa Rica, too. Somebody called it a poor man's bidet. Where
we just had a hose? Just had a hose.
With a spray thing. But not in France. They did not have bidets in France.
Really?
And we saw basically all of France.
Okay.
And so I don't know if they have the plumbing anymore or what the problem is. But no French bidets, just Italian bidets.
Italian bidets. All right, well, they like to have clean asses. That's good. I'm proud of them. French, still dating it. But
the funny thing is we were sitting there in Cagliari, which is the capital of Sardinia. It's 400,000 people. Mm-hmm. Not real big, but it's the biggest city on the island. And we were walking around, and they have like these forts, from 8,000 years ago or whatever. But they've got the walls, and so you're on this level of the town, and then you go down to this one, and then you're down this one, and there's roads, and you drive. It's really on top of each other, and we were like, man, it would be really hard to be like an Italian plumber. You'd have to be really good. And then we were like, oh shit, like Super Mario? Yeah, that's where Super Mario comes from, because to control these buildings, and it's insane. And so we really thought that was fun, but
and Luigi and Mario, hey, that's something to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just history on top of history on top of history on top of, graffiti.
Good God.
So it was great, but by the end of the time, we were gone for 2 weeks. Like,
you're tired.
You're ready to get back. You want to see some American sports. Mm-hmm. But we did learn. So the boys love the YouTube. We learned about the Premier League and the Liga and all the soccer leagues. So the cool thing is we were over there and they had the UEFA, or the European Championship.
Oh, wow.
And Paris Saint-Germain, actually won the whole thing. And so, of course, they start rioting.
That's right. I was going to think about it. They were rioting.
Yeah. So we were over there when that was happening. So we went to the
something?
Superstore. No, we stayed indoors,
Okay. Did you see it happening in front of you? Out and did you look outside? Oh, there's the house on fire.
Well, they were locking all the hotels. So my mother, my sister, and my niece also came over and met us. So they met up with us for 4 days, and they were hearing stuff and in their hotel. But we went to the Paris SG Superstore and got a jersey and all that stuff. And
what's the guy? What's the main guy?
So I think Mbappe played with them.
Did he?
So the French are somehow really good at soccer.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know how it happened, but they really like to burn stuff down when they win. But they won like 5-0. I mean,
really?
They destroyed them, and so they went bonkers. So that was fun.
That's cool.
But we learned about the European soccer, and they got one thing right that I think we should do. If you are in the bottom 2 of your league,
you got to go down.
You're relegated. You
done.
Get kicked out, and then you get a little bit of money. They call it parachute money for 2 or 3 seasons, but it can be devastating. I think we need to do that with college football.
That'd be kind of cool.
I think we have the Big Ten and the SEC, and then we kick Vandy and Mississippi State out. We kick Northwestern out and let somebody else come in. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Well, what's that soccer show? The soccer show used to be on
Ted Lasso.
That's what happens.
Welcome to Wrexham, I think, is the one.
Not bending like Beckham.
That's a movie from back in the day. But the guy Van Wilder bought a football team, a soccer team, over there in England. Wrexham, and he's a pretty cool dude. I haven't watched the show or anything. I'm not going to watch a show about soccer.
No, man.
Ted Lasso was good.
That was a great
right?
show.
I mean,
great show.
But yeah, a lot. They get into it, and it's just a different type of sports over there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a different vibe, and I could see where people could get into like the Formula One racing. It's just they don't have as many athletes. What are you gonna do?
You know what? It's kind of you like us, and we got baseball, football, hockey, basketball, and we're sports nuts. What do you think they are? The same as us too over there, but they love their soccer. We call it football. Football.
It's not the same. That's one thing we do better.
Yeah.
They got us on bidets, but we got them on sports.
They do have that bidet thing. That's the clean ass thing. I enjoy that. That's for sure. That sounds like the awesome trip.
We really had a good time.
That's great.
I think next time we're like, well, where are we going to go next? I'm like, we just got back. Like, I don't know, Florida. Or maybe go to Alabama. Or something simple, because this is a lot of planning, a lot of work.
Yeah,
and
that's a lot.
But I think what we're settling on is maybe going to Greece.
Yeah, Greece was beautiful, but that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Well,
we might have to do a podcast from Greece, the homeland, write it all off.
Let's do it. We got to make sure.
Starting up an LLC here.
Let's go. Hey, speaking about Florida, too. So now we're going to go kick back to my second week now. So you had 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks in all across Europe. I was in Jackson Hole, away from everything, 2 separate vacations that we had. So let's bring up that United thing.
Yeah.
That's just something that is kind of... is what it is. So, so when we're flying out of Jackson Hole, first of all, in the airport in Jackson Hole, if you've ever been there, it's gorgeous. The runway, you walk out, there's no jet bridges. You walk right out. It's open air. It's got mountains. You got the Tetons right there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So you walk out, we get in, we're looking on a flight. We get into, on our flight United, we're going to fly to Denver. We're ready to go. All of a sudden, we get on the plane, we're sitting there, we're relaxed, and I'm waiting, we're getting ready to fly. All of a sudden, the captain comes out, I hear him talking, and we're overweight.
Oh, no.
Overweight. And the plane was kind of open, so that they come out trying to figure out some stuff. Now, when we fly non-rev, we're not paying, obviously. We're paying the taxes, but we're flying non-rev. And, again, thankful for what we do to get on that plane. But unfortunately, we had to get bumped off that plane.
Oh, my God. I remember I was talking to you. You said something happened. Do they know who they're bumping? Like, is that even possible?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. You end up bumping the non-revs first, because what they do is if the plane is too heavy to land in Denver, so the winds changed, and their flight, and they had fuel on board with passengers and bags and luggages. They were too heavy to land because the winds changed. They had to land on a different runway, and they had to land uphill. So they have to take off people. So they took off the non-revs, and they still were heavy. Still were too heavy. So they would do is they would offer money to you to go, hey, we're going to pull people off. We're going to give you $1,000 or whatever it is. So when I heard the captain doing that, I instantaneously grabbed my phone, rented a car right then and there, because I'm like, I'm going to drive to Denver. I'm going to drive to Denver. I don't care. My wife's like, no, let's go to Bozeman. I go, I don't want to go to Bozeman. There's not a lot of flights out of there. I'd rather go to Denver. It's safer. It's easier. It's a little longer of a drive, but it is what it is. Got the last car because I tried doing another one for there, trying to rent another car. Said sold out. I'm like, whoa, I'm going to keep this one. So we get bumped off that, get a car. My wife's mad as hell. She's like, let's go to Bozeman. I want to go to Bozeman. There it is. What a great trip.
Ooh, 8 hours.
It was 8-hour trip. I loved it because you're going through so many areas. It's just beautiful. Now, I don't think did I send you the picture of us?
I don't think so.
Oh, I should send you a picture. I'm going to give you the picture of that right now. So the picture of us driving to Denver from Jackson Hole was epic. I loved it. But the problem is my son was throwing up in the back seat.
What was wrong with him?
he got sick. He got some ick. So I think he started the ick off with me. So here's the picture. Here we go. Da-ding. There we go. Let me get back to here. Where is that? You do it on yours. You got a better picture.
Disappeared.
Oh, man. What'd you do?
Yeah, that camera's too nice to put stuff up.
There you go. There you go. Try that.
She does not look happy.
Well, you put click on you. There you go. She's not happy at all. No, it's not working there. There you go. Anyway, trust me, she's got I hate you face. Me, I'm like yes. And look at the back.
As a ghost.
Look at the back. D is laid out. He is miserable. He's puking. He's puking in a bag. It's just. I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. So we end up.
What day of the week was this?
This was a Friday.
Oh God.
Friday. So we end up driving. We stayed a night at the hotel, and I said, we'll fly out in Denver later on. We'll just sleep and enjoy. I think what happened is that my wife got sick that day too. Her voice was shot. Mine was starting to get a little creepy, and Dee was sick. So then that day we end up flying home on the Saturday. Now we're home. Now me and my son got to go fly to Destin, Florida for a baseball tournament.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Oh, excuse me. Let's go baseball in Florida.
Wow.
In the summer. Yeah. Middle of the day. It's
a wet heat.
Yeah, it's a very wet heat. So we flew down. We stayed there. Tammy, my wife, doesn't come down till like this later on, like on Wednesday. She comes down on Wednesday. She can't talk. She literally can't talk. Her voice is shot. She cannot speak. I feel so bad for her. Excuse me. So we go to baseball, but we can go back to little crazy parents here too, because I was there and I'm sitting there, and my wife came up with the best thing. Remember, we always said, who's crazier, hockey parents or baseball parents? Yeah. Right? That was always the word. Who's crazier? Well, my wife basically was a genius. She
had an epiphany.
She had an epiphany, telling me when she couldn't speak too. She goes, I think the difference is baseball, there is controversy on every play pretty much. That was a strike. That was a ball. He was safe. That ball dropped. Yeah. It was foul. Wasn't there.
A lot of discretion.
It's more of craziness, of yelling, of that was this and this was that. Hockey's different. Hockey is more intense when it happens because it's buildup. Goal. And that wasn't a goal. That was a cheap shot. Yeah. So she came up with that, and I got to say hats off with it. She goes, baseball parents are crazy because of how much it is. You got a lot of controversy. Hockey, it's more intense. And when they explode, boy, they explode. Hockey parents. But it was funny because I saw almost 2 fights at baseball this year.
Oh, man.
This weekend. So that weekend.
Did you film them?
I caught it at the end. I had a crazy parent sitting behind home plate. Let's go. Screaming and yelling, clapping. Come on, Johnny. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Let's go,
Tommy. But this was great. So the first one, we're sitting here getting ready to go in our game. Game ends. And you hear them chirping. There's some teams from Houston. There was a team from Louisiana, and they're coming off. And I hear this one woman yelling at the other team coach, screaming at him in his face. I can't make this up. Why the F are you making jerk off gestures to my son?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't make this up.
It's a fair question.
Fair question. And the coach just looked at her and went, what are you talking
like behind
about?
The plate?
She was behind the plate, screaming out. No, they came off. The both teams came off, and they're walking off, and the mom's screaming, why you do that? I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. That was hilarious. So it started chirping a little bit, and they walked away, and I was like, I'm not getting involved in that. Yeah. Then there was another day. Another game, right? And you knew who you are if you listened to this. So there was a game that was played right before us. Guy stealing third, catch it, grabs it, throws it to third, but he drills the batter right in the head.
Oh.
Drills the batter right in the head. No one knows the call, what to do. They go, batter interference. Batter interference. The kid didn't do anything. So he's just standing against a ball drilled off his head. It was great. technically that's live
See,
ball.
all right.
Yeah, he was fine. Technically, that's a live ball. He didn't do anything. That's his ground. A catcher's supposed to take it, move his feet behind the runner or the batter, and throw.
Yeah, it's part of the field.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. So now these umpires have no idea what the hell's going on. They're arguing back and forth. Coaches are back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And all of a sudden, the batter's father on the team,
The guy that got hit.
the guy that got hit's dad, is yelling, "Well, if you're going to throw my kid out, throw the catcher out." I'm like, that's not the rule. He's, I don't care. He's throw the catcher out. So now they're playing a team from Houston. This guy from Houston, I mean, again, it doesn't look like they're, they got the cut shirts, they got tattoos across their necks and everything. I'm like, hey, sometimes you got to know your audience.
It's not Dallas.
No, it's not Dallas.
It's a different crew.
Different. So he's screaming, "Go kick the catcher out." And all of a sudden, the catcher's father on this team goes, "You got a problem with my catcher? That's my son. You got a problem? Let's go. Let's talk about it." And the kid goes, "Well, that's my son." So they start walking together. I go, "Oh, here it comes." I grab the camera out. I'm like, "Oh, here we go. This is going to be great." And it kind of got diffused.
Oh, boo.
And I'm like, oh, boy.
Well, I think that could be kind of one of our things here in Beer League is send us your videos, right? We want to break them down like we did with old T-Roy.
That was perfect.
There's got to be plenty of them out there, and we're going to keep these people in check. These crazy parents need to know that somebody's watching.
Yeah.
You might wind up on Beer League.
Yeah, we're those guys with the cameras and, look at me, click, 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 But, other than that, though, so now we're finishing up baseball. We had a great time. Kids had a fun time. They're singing karaoke. The kids, I got videos of the kids singing karaoke. They're having a ball. They could care less if they won or lost the game.
What karaoke were they singing this time? I don't think it was Old Susanna.
I don't know what it was. Some of the kids on the team. It was fun. I think it was Drake.
Kendrick
Lamar.
Yeah.
Something what it was. They had fun. We had, it was a good place. And then on Friday, we're about to go home. I get sick. I go to a walk-in because I can't talk. And now when I can't talk, that's some issues.
That's your livelihood
That's
there.
me.
I mean, I think you are sounding better, though, since we started. Like, at the beginning, you sounded like that guy from South Park. He smoked too many cigarettes. It's getting better. Those lozenges really working.
Love Halls. Halls are the best.
So you were unable to really talk for like 10 days or something. It was a long time.
It's still, as you can tell, I'm still feeling it. I couldn't talk. Doctors, I went to the walk-in. They gave me a steroid shot. They also gave me antibiotics. I'm still on antibiotics. And that's why I can't have a cold one with you right now. I got my juice in the Buc-ee's cup. So that was that.
Sipping for two.
He is. He's taking up the slack for me. I'm sorry. But, that's all. That was that, and we got back home, and I haven't been feeling right still. Excuse me, my cough is still there, and I'm feeling a lot better, which is great.
Have you seen a doctor?
Nah, I finished my antibiotics, and that's over with. But
then you can start drinking again.
Yeah, I can get back on the horse. Which
it's summer. We got a lot of summer. It's
lots of summer.
Early. One thing about Europe that was great is Paris is like on this longitude that is probably the best. The sun comes up, 6:30. It gets dark at like 10 o'clock at night. The sun is up forever.
That's beautiful.
We're running out. It's like it starts to go down at 8:15 here, and we're like, hey, sun's up late. That's one thing that sucks about Middle Tennessee is we're just in the wrong part of the time zone. But, you got to make the most of your summer because next thing you know, these boys will be back in school and
back on the ice skating again.
Oh, I did it today. I saw our second guest. I saw
Mr. Wood,
Steve at the rink today, and they were doing a bunch of yellow helmets. I'm like, what are all these yellow helmets doing here? Yep, they had some little workshop. Jack was getting some skate lessons. So we did about 3 weeks not going to the rink, almost a month, and I call that a break.
Yeah, that's the best thing. I got to yell at him. Oh, we're not going to do nothing. We're not doing any skating. We're not doing that. I guess apparently he's skating. Mr. Wood.
Oh, they called me last night. I wasn't planning on doing this. They called me last night. They said they needed some older kids.
Full of crap.
Steve. Come on, Steve. We know what you're doing, Steve.
He's a crazy. You're crazy, Steve.
But yeah, it's summertime, and I'd like to not go to the rink, but I'm in the rink in shorts.
Yeah.
It's just what we do.
I did that. I actually did the one practice. Well, I didn't. The kid did. Well, I'm going to lead up to I in 1 second here. That's some of my hot buttons here.
Yeah, we're going to have to get some rants going.
I got a rant right now that just popped right in my head, but we ended up, again, damn it. We had my son play the little skating, and I looked, and hey, Seth, you here? I go, I feel like this is wrong to come into a rink in the summertime. It does feel good because it's nice and cool, but I don't do it. I ain't doing it.
They're supposed to skate for, once a week just to maintain that they're...
They still got something.
Yeah, so they don't get all sloppy, is what they say. But then once a week turns into, we got to skate, but then we can do the pond hockey.
Yeah, we just do this, and we're just going to do that.
And then a contact clinic, and then...
Yeah, because your son's going up to hit.
We're going to start hitting.
Attaboy.
But if you skate well, then you might not get hit as much. So you can
dodge.
Yeah, or you could be the one.
You could dodge a brick.
Delivering the lumber.
Yeah. What's it? You can dodge ball. You can dodge a brick. You can dodge a ball.
You can dodge a wrench.
Wrench. That's what it is. Wrench.
So you want to get your rants going here?
My rant. One of the biggest rants, and I even wrote it down. I was so pissed off. Things that always bother me. The lightning rant. This is a good rant. Yeah.
Now wait a second.
All right.
This is a new one. It's Seth's choice.
Yeah, this is my choice.
All right, and all right, we got to wind up for this because this is another new feature here.
We got features.
So what's the topic of this rant?
We and us.
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 Oh,
right. Yes.
Go for it.
Us. I can't stand when someone decides, like, hey, you talk to your buddy, like, hey, us. He's explaining, like, say, if he's a Giants fan, we're gonna have a great season. They screwed us. Wait a second. You're not playing. You're a fan, you fat bastard. You are sitting there drinking beers, rooting for your team. Us. Bullshit. You are not doing a damn thing but yelling, right? That bothers me so much. The son of a bitch, when they go, us. Oh, they screwed us with that call. We're gonna beat you. Well, yeah, we did so good in the draft. What did you do? You sat there.
I called into a podcast.
Exactly, you son of a bitch. That bothers me. That's some hot button that I got on that one. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Us, we. Oh, yeah, we're going to have a great year. What do you mean, we? You're going to sit on your fat ass and eat wings and drink beer on Sunday watching the Titans. That's what you're going to do.
Nobody watches the Titans.
No one watches the Titans. Yeah, Oh, they screwed us with that call. They called that holding call. They beat us. They don't like us. Oh, shut up.
All right, well, what about this? While I was away, they came up with a solution to college football, right? What do you think about this?
Excuse me.
What do you think about this $20.5 million salary cap?
Well, that kind of brings around and try to keep everyone even. That's what they're doing. They're trying to keep this whole thing even, saying, hey, well, why did the SEC get more money? Why do the SEC people do this? I think it's kind of a good thing. But listen, if you have the money, spend it. Spend it.
Well, what I think is going to be interesting is, the SEC, the Big Ten, the relegation leagues, the big boys, right? The major leagues. They're going to spend their money mostly on football, a little bit on basketball. Some will start to give up. I'm not saying Kentucky should give up, but other ones I think will focus on more niche sports. You might have a hockey $20 million cap.
Minnesota.
Right? You could just dominate it, right?
Minnesota.
The Golden Gophers don't need to be out on the football field, but they could really field a team that's pretty strong and competes in the Frozen Four. But then you might have people that spend it on volleyball or something crazy. So I think it's going to be a lot more strategic now and how they're doing it. Anything's better than what we had last season.
They got to do something. I still blame Deion Sanders for this crap, for that whole thing. the NIL and all this other stuff. I got to be honest with you, But in the same sense, these colleges were getting so rich off these players.
Well, that's the thing, is that this $20 million now comes out of the athletic budget, right? So they were getting all these folks together, and I think Tennessee was on the forefront of that by getting the collectives together, the big donors. But now they're still going to have that, right, on the side.
Don't say us.
But
don't you dare say us.
They are going to have to shell out $20 million, and that's gonna hurt the bottom line. And so I don't know what these colleges are going to do, because it's really just a difficult business.
Is it a done deal or what?
Yeah,
it is. Huh?
This was approved. It was the House settlement. So
did colleges have to spend the $20 million?
I think you can opt out of it if you're an idiot. But what they really need to fix is the portal.
Yeah,
in my mind,
that's nuts.
But
what else we got? What else we got?
It's time for Get Off My Lawn.
Oh, do we have a song for that too? A little music for that one too? I'd love that.
That's pretty good.
Do it again. I like this. I like that music. That was fun.
Okay.
And you got me going too. I was pumped. I was heated. I was, because I just really bothered me with the us. And I wrote it down. I said, I'm driving. I go, man, it bothers me when you listen like sports radio. We should do a trade. First time, long time. We should do a trade. Let's trade, nobody for a first round pick. Yeah, that's a great deal. Like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Well, okay. This is Get Off My Lawn. You guys know what this is. We're going to start with the Ayatollah Khomeini, right? Or Will Smith. Will Smith back in the news. I don't know if you heard about his new song.
No.
Have you listened to this one? It came out.
Talk to me.
It came out.
It's got to be pretty bad if you got the Ayatollah Khomeini against him.
Right.
Let's be honest.
He's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. So Will Smith is getting worse than the Ayatollah. I'm interested because I didn't hear this yet.
Well, the Ayatollah's been doing bad things for a long time.
Exactly.
He's 86 years old, right?
He says, "Get your wife out of my mouth."
But
your mouth.
Will Smith at least used to have some good hits, right? He used to have the Fresh Prince. They remade the Fresh Prince and they made it a drama. Did you watch that?
No.
Nobody watched it. It was a disgrace. But yeah, they tried to redo it about a year ago. Well, Will Smith, he is 56 years old.
Okay.
He's a little bit younger than the Ayatollah, but
a little bit.
He's come out here with a new song, and I don't know who advised him to do it. But it starts off with it's a therapy session. Let me see if we can't. I don't know if this is
Willie. So this is a song?
Yeah.
And he's crying. It looks like he's crying.
I think it's gotten worse as I've gotten older. I thought I had it under control.
Is that his wife?
I'm literally experiencing it right now, like literally this second.
Oh. And how would you define this?
What the hell
Can you make me understand?
is this? What?
I like pretty girls.
Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking.
What?
I feel like maybe he's on an ayahuasca trip.
Oh, him and Aaron Rodgers. Holy
Yeah, I think they had a big weekend here.
Look at this. What? You know what? Just because of this video, we'll get the hell off this. It's terrible to say the Ayatollah Khomeini's still hanging out with us, but this is awful. Get this song out your mouth, Will. This is terrible. Oh my God. I can't unsee that. I really can't. Oh God, I hope he doesn't talk about his team that way.
Yeah, it's tough out there. So,
Oh God, man. What else we got over there? We're getting close. We're getting close.
So we'll wrap it up here with one more. This is European soccer leagues. We just talked about that.
That's
right?
you. That's all you. I'll let you play
But
with that one.
then we've got
Oh God, no.
NASCAR.
No.
NASCAR. Now you started getting into NASCAR when you moved down south, right? I remember.
God, no.
You said you were going to Talladega. You had a couple places you wanted to go to Bristol.
You know what? I want to go to Bristol because it was one. See, listen. When I moved down here, my brothers and father love car racing. I was always the idiot. Says, when are they going to crash? Got to see him crash. I want to see him crash. Dad's like, you're an idiot. I did used to go to Pocono with him.
That's like, I want to see him fight.
Yeah,
Go to
exactly.
the hockey game.
Go to
I
hockey,
want to see him fight.
You want to see some excitement? What the hell? You driving around in circles? Woo! And you sit there. You got, hey, what you watch? Watch me down the back.